I've been making books since 1993, and my very first book was this one, and I sold a couple of thousand copies of this. It was teaching photography, and what it taught me: terrible cover, inside had great information, but design is so important. A big part of what I love to teach photographers is the enjoyment of being published or publishing your own images. So my son Fraser recently had the front cover of Australian Photography. He's very proud of that, his first published image. For me, I can go back to 1984, and I actually had my first image published in that very same magazine. Then today, with the modern technology, we have companies like Momento Pro where we can actually put our own book together. So this is a book I made this year celebrating 40 years of my photography. I'm very proud of this book. It won some national print awards recently, and what I love about this book is it's got a cross-section of my work from all over the world. You could do the same. It's very simple. Let's go through a couple of tips and techniques that will help you produce beautiful books. The first starting point for a book is, what is the project going to be named? I love to start with a folder, and that folder will be something like My Last Holiday, or I've Gone to New Zealand, or whatever you like to call it. That allows you to get a direction of what type of imagery you're going to select. I'd start with at least 100 images. It sounds a lot, but you'll find that if you want to put a proper book together, you'll need to start with something like that, and you'll shrink it down, cull it down. You want to have a storyline, a simple storyline, and something like chapters. It doesn't have to be chapters, but something in that form where the images aren't haphazard. The cover of a book and the text of the book is probably secondary considerations. I really look at the imagery as most important, and of course processing images correctly for book use is also very important. I love to use Adobe Lightroom for that, sort images. I create a collection and I drop the images into that collection so that it's easy for me to start working out where I'm heading with particular imagery. And as we can open up this book, for example, we can go through and see it's got very simple imagery in here. It's about people, and we've got clean space to one side, portraiture on the other side. Very simple book. You don't need to be complex with books, and you don't need to always be writing, putting text into books. A lot of people hesitate because they think, I can't write. That's not a problem. Let your images tell the story. Since 2005, we've offered book workshops. During our workshop, we not only look at imagery, but we also look at use of fonts, text, colors, and the most important thing is the concept of the book. What is the story you're trying to get across to the viewer, or perhaps it's yourself? And often, a lot of books nowadays are made actually for the photographer themselves. They might pass a couple on to family, but how cool is it that you can put a book together, and in over 100 years' time, someone's still looking at your imagery through the power of a book. During the workshop, we talk about the aspects of putting a book together, but the final step is to do a cover. And the cover can be quite challenging for us all, but have a look at these. These guys, some of them are first off, they've never done a cover before, and they absolutely enjoyed it. One lady's never done a book before, and she was judged as the best cover by most of the group. And that's an amazing feat. Beautiful imagery of flowers in her case. If you're interested to go further with bookmaking, or if you're interested to do your book for the first time, why don't you join us? We do a book workshop once a year. It's a great event, lots of fun. It's only 3 days, and at the end of those 3 days, whether you're a beginner or advanced, we'll have you producing amazing quality books.